United States has always been a nation of immigrants. As John F. Kennedy said, America is not merely a nation, but a nation of nations. All Americans except Native Americans are either descended from immigrants or are immigrants themselves. Today, federal law allows for about 1 million new immigrants a year, and in recent years, about 500,000 illegal immigrants a year have also entered the U.S. Combined, this is equivalent to adding roughly the population of Phoenix every year. The Census Bureau estimates that currently 12% of the nation's population are immigrants, and that 41% of this group have already become U.S. citizens. I had the chance to interview businessman Juan Ponce, who moved from Ecuador in 2012 and is still currently dealing with the immigration process. Mr. Ponce spoke about his situation and gives us his thought about the process. What are your thoughts on the immigration process?
I think the immigration process in every country is extremely delicate, especially in the United States. Everybody wants. There's a lot of people that wants to immigrate to this country. So most of the times, what I think is people come here without knowing exactly how can they stay here formally. So knowing how can you be here and how do you qualify, or what is the best process that fits your needs or situation, is the best way to have a satisfactory process. So for example, in my case, the way that my immigration process is based on business.
So based on your personal experience, how do you feel your case was treated?
In my personal experience, I think that the process was okay, because the process when you're going to invest in the USA and get a visa and get the benefits to apply for it are very straightforward. So in my case, my process is taking a little bit more than I needed. So when you want to start the process, you really need to know what do you need, what do you qualify, and how do you present your business. Because at the end, what you're doing here is, yes, you want to in my case, you want to do business in the U.S., and also the U.S. wants you to do business here.
Do you believe the immigration process is fair?
I think that the immigration process is fair and straightforward. They are very upfront on what you need to present. Specifically from my experience, which is from the point of view of business-wise immigration process, I think it's fair. Now, I cannot speak on other immigration processes because there are so many categories that you cannot evaluate it. The only thing, the only thing of the process that I see as a negative side is the time it takes. It takes too long. So when you have to wait too much for an answer, you have to wait for so long to get a reply, then you have a problem, because sometimes it could affect the business.
Roberto, a father of three, is a Venezuelan immigrant who tells us his story. He sought political asylum.
4 años. Mi caso al principio fue llevado bien, incluyendo los tiempos que llevaba el proceso. Pero después de la entrevista del oficial hubo un tiempo de espera de casi un año para obtener yo la respuesta. Después que tuve esa entrevista, me dijeron que tenía que devolverme a Miami en 15 días para obtener esa respuesta. Y fuimos y nos dieron, fue como un permiso, o sea, un permiso no, una preaprobación. Pero que en el transcurso de la semana o de un mes, 2 meses, ya había que tener una respuesta, lo cual no pasó. Decidimos ir hasta Miami, nosotros vivimos en Orlando, y decidimos viajar a Miami un año como 7, 8 veces, lo cual nos trajo gastos y mucha pérdida de tiempo.
The process commences with submitting a petition. After your petition is approved, You collect and submit forms and documents to the NVC. Then you get an interview. The process may seem short, but in fact it is time-consuming and costly. The length varies from less than a year to various years, while cost varies from $5,000 to $7,000. Here is President Obama and Representative Gutierrez on immigrants.
People live in nearly constant fear that a loved one or a friend will be detained and then strapped into an airplane for deportation. My Chicagoans have been waiting for the Congress to act and take action for over a decade. Polish, Ukrainian, Irish, and Mexican have been waiting. Jamaicans and Filipinos. They've been waiting for family members to get visas and backlogs that stretch to 20 years because Congress refuses to act. And they've been heartbroken by laws that say, on the one hand, they can apply for a green card because they are married to a U.S. citizen, but on the other hand, they must wait in exile outside the country, away from their husband or wife, their loved one, for 10 years in order to get that green card. 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 deportations a year. These statistics represent people disappearing from their churches, from their kitchen tables, from parent-teacher conferences. Why? Because Congress is doing nothing to make it stop or make any progress towards an immigration system based in reality and common sense.
Studies have shown that, over time, immigrants aren't lowering wages, but in fact improving the economy and over time boosting wages and jobs for everyone. So I'd rather just make the argument on the facts, but just because somebody thinks that instinctually doesn't mean that they're bad people.
Dear future president, just remember that in a way, we are all immigrants.